hopefully cooling down a little bit as well, because if you are in the UK right now, then you will know that we are not used to such warm or hot, should I say, temperatures. So right now I am in my living room, and I thought it would be nice to create this for you in the daytime when you may be feeling a little hot and flustered, and maybe you can use it as a little midday relaxation session to get yourself back in gear. Or you can listen a little bit later on when it comes to sleep and relaxation time. So, if you're joining me for the first time, first off, hello. You're looking very lovely. You are. And secondly, please make yourself as comfortable as possible. This is going to be super, super relaxed, and there's going to be nothing intense. And I can promise you that because I have on some pink, very non-gym-like trousers. So today we're going super chill, super relaxed vibes, okay? And please grab yourself your most favourite drink. Mine is sadly not here with tea, but we're gonna make do today with some water. Keep ourselves nice and hydrated in this very warm weather. And if you can hear any external noises, as we don't live in a silent world. I was gonna say sad world, a silent world. Then I do apologise, but we must learn to, tune them out, as it were. So we can just center ourselves here, okay? So let's both take a nice sip of drink. What have you got there? Oh, it looks nicer than this. Although this is nice and chilled. It's very, very cold. Very nice. I had some juice in here earlier, or as my friend Scottish Mamas would say, some diluting juice. Which I sort of discovered. I'm not sure if that was a Lauren thing or if that was a Scottish thing. But hey ho, squash. So I had some apple and elderflower squash in that earlier. And I can just taste a little hint of it, but it's quite nice. And then we're going to make ourselves super, super comfy. Okay? And if you can, sit cross-legged or cross-legged, whichever you prefer to say, then please do so. And if not, feel free to kneel or just sit with your legs out to the side or in front of you, however you feel most comfortable, okay? For me, I'm just sitting cross-legged and I'm drawing my spine up to the ceiling, so as though I'm being pulled in the middle by a little invisible string. And what this does is this just centers us a little bit, centers our core. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do some neck work to begin with. So we're just going to start by just looking up towards the ceiling and looking back down again. Looking up and looking back down. We can repeat this a couple more times. Look up, nice and slowly, and all the way back down. And we'll do that one more time, drawing the head towards the ceiling, eyes facing up, or you can close your eyes, and bringing all the way down. If you can touch your chest, with your chin, please do so. If not, just take it as far as it goes. Lovely. And back to centre. Now we're going to do the side. So I've got a bit of a poorly neck and shoulder at the moment. I put it out around maybe a few days, a week ago, something like that. I've lost track, but all of a sudden I was making a cup of tea and I went to lift the kettle, which sounds so silly, but something probably from sleeping poorly the night before just went in my top area of my neck and shoulder hair, and it's been locked for quite a few days. So I've been in a little bit of pain, and I also went climbing last night, and now this shoulder is sore. So we'll just do what we can, but we're gonna simply move our head towards here. For me, that's towards the windows. And we're just going to focus on what we can see. So for me, that is some trees. Got some different colours going on, some different coloured greens. Got a darker tree as well, which is very striking. It goes almost a rich burgundy colour. I've got a light green tree and some darker green trees, and I can see a little pigeon sitting upon one of the branches, and there's a light breeze. And draw your head back to centre. Lovely. And we're going to do the same to the other side. Oh, for me, I can only do it just up to here, so not all the way around. Just do it wherever you feel most comfortable. So we're going to focus again on what we can see in our eye line. For me, that's my piano, which I really should learn to play properly. I don't think chopsticks justifies as playing the piano, but nonetheless, I can also see a little ornament I've got of a gold sort of person, and I can see a little plant sprayer that my cousin gave me when I moved in. And I can see a bit of a painting here that I've got, or a picture, and I can see a wall hanging as well that I've got over there. And draw back to the centre. Lovely, well done. And now what we're going to do is we're going to draw our chin down towards our chest, and we're going to do a slight semicircle rotation. So we're going to go up towards one shoulder, back, and towards the other shoulder. Okay, so we're going to do that now. Draw ourselves down and roll, and roll. And again, just do this wherever it feels most comfortable. I've got a slight lack of movement in my neck at the moment, so I'd be able to normally go down much deeper on this. But we're just going to do exactly what we can do. And one more. Fantastic. And back to centre. Lovely. We can give our shoulders a little roll as well, which always feels really nice. So drawing the shoulders back almost towards the centre of your back and down. Now if you can hear any sounds, please don't worry, it's not you, it's me. I am a typically very naughty, very creaky person. I sound a little bit like a 90-year-old, although I'm sure there are many very supple 90-year-olds, but unfortunately I sound like a very creaky person, despite being quite active. But there we go. And we can also roll forward as well, so this can be a little bit tricky to do almost laying down. I feel like, or sitting down, sorry. I feel like I find this easier stood up, but that's fine. Lovely. Okay. Right, now we've warmed up that part of us, we can have a sip of drink, can't we? And why don't you tell me how you've been? Well, thank you for sharing. Me? Well, this week for me actually has been a bit of a funny one. I've been suffering with a few little migraines, something I've always had, but for anyone who suffers with migraines knows that they can be a little bit debilitating at times. My mum used to suffer quite badly and she'd be very sick and unwell, but I'm not quite at that level, but they can really knock me out. So I've had that this week and quite a lot of pain from my neck and shoulder. But aside from that, the sun has been shining, and as some of you may know, I live in a nice sunny beachside place. So it's been lovely to enjoy and sit outside and work in the garden and have a nice walk down the beach as well. So that's been really lovely. And I've been trying to get back into healthier eating, which oddly I find trickier in the warmer months, because I know everyone says they just eat really lightly and live off of salads, but for some reason I feel even more peckish and I want to be snacking. So we'll try and reduce the snacks. I'm a bit of a late night snacker, so I think I'm going to have to hide my biscuit tin. Maybe I'll just keep one biscuit, just for emergencies. The emergency biscuit. Maybe. And aside from that, I have just been working and keeping busy. But it is very lovely to check in with you. It's always a delight. Now, what do you reckon? Back to some stretches. Okay, if you insist. Alright, what we're going to do is actually something I learned from my dad when he was practicing Tai Chi. We used to sometimes do it together actually, but it's something he stopped a little while ago, and I'm going to try and encourage him to get back into it because I did enjoy it. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of have our hands like this, and we're going to twist. There we go, I had to think about that. And what we're going to do is we're going to look up towards the ceiling. So my hand is like this and the other one is pressing into the floor. You'll feel a deeper stretch of this if you do this standing up, but don't worry if you're sat down like me. And my hand or palm is facing towards the ceiling and I'm staring at the back of my hand, and you'll feel this as a deep stretch all the way down here. Remember to keep the posture aligned, and then we can draw back and we can switch. And again, don't overexert yourself. Remember not to lean back too much. Try and keep upright and really feel that stretch all the way down your side. Brilliant. And we can bring it back. And now what we can do is a stretch that I actually learned from an online physio for my shoulder issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our hands like so. So we're going to interlock our fingers. I'm going to push our palms outwards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to almost roll my shoulder and push forward. And this is going to feel a real stretch all in your shoulders here. So this is really lovely if you have been working at a desk, or you've been doing some work, just really feel that stretch. Don't over push it. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and just relax. And we can repeat that a few times, and you can hold it longer each time should you wish, but it can be a really nice one to just try and relax those sort of tight, tense muscles. So we'll do it again. So we're looking down, pushing the palms out, rolling the shoulders forward, and feeling that stretch in our upper shoulders. Lovely. And drawing backwards. That's great. And we'll do that one more time together. So raising the arms up, pushing outwards around sort of, I was going to say elbow height then, but that doesn't make sense. Sort of holding to shoulder height and pushing outwards. That's lovely. Great. That's good. We can do a little shake out. Okay. Now with this hotter weather and trying to feel cooler, when we sit down and we do our stretches, what this encourages is us to stabilize our breathing, and with that we try and stabilize our nervous system, which is something that often tends to increase along with our heart rate when we feel a bit flustered and hot and bothered. So if we can get ourselves into a nice calm state, hopefully we can get ourselves into a much cooler state as well. So drinking some nice water hopefully helps, and whilst we have a little break, I wanted to share with you a couple of things that I've been enjoying. This is not sponsored, but I feel like I have to say that. But these are just a couple of things I've been using recently. So to help with hydration, I've been using these. So I feel like a proper influencer now. Look at my product, guys. These are from Liquid IV. I just bought these in a supermarket. And the flavour is raspberry lemonade. Fancy. And they come in a little sachet, like so. And these are really good at popping some electrolytes back into you. So these have got sodium in, and potassium, which we know is in bananas, and vitamin C, B3, B5, and pantothenic acid actually, which is B5, is a stress vitamin or stress thing. So if you can increase your pantothenic acid levels to the recommended daily amount, you may find as well that helps with your stress levels. Just saying. So not all the time, but if I have done some exercise, or maybe I've been sat out in the sun for too long or something like that, I'm just feeling a bit sort of weary, I've been finding that's been a little help. And for a bit of boost of energy, I've recently discovered as well Zuki. I love the name. It's very satisfying. So these are magnesium liquid sachets, and these are in an even fancier flavour in my opinion. These are in pineapple guava flavour. Guava just sounds very satisfying. And these are liposomal encapsulation, 4 times higher absorption for magnesium. So I take magnesium for muscle health. It's very good for aches and pains, strains, things like that, but magnesium is also useful for sleep, and it's useful for energy. So I found that actually this gives me a really good boost of energy. So I had one of these this afternoon actually, because I've been feeling a little bit sort of not run down, but a little bit low on energy. And I had one of these in some water, and it says electrolyte balance, energy and metabolism, muscle and bones, and protein synthesis. This is very unprofessional. My phone going off there, we'll turn that off. And I have found that this has given me a nice little boost. So if you're feeling a little bit hot in this weather, maybe a couple of supermarket or online finds for you there that you may want to try. Anyway, let's have some water, shall we? Okay, lovely. Now we can do a couple more stretches, can't we? What we're going to do now is I'm actually going to pop this leg out, and I'm going to pop that out at a 90-degree angle. Yes. And I'm literally just going to hold that stretch, and you will find that you feel that in your inner thigh. And if you want an extra stretch, you can just push your toes towards the floor. That will give you an even deeper stretch in your leg. You'll be able to feel that around your knee, all the way down to your lower leg. And you can push slightly down on the top of your thigh if you want an even deeper stretch. But this is a lovely stretch to do. I do it before I climb, just to really open up your leg muscles, release any tightness. If you are a desk worker or you're at college or anything where you're sat down for a long period of time, you'll find the muscles in your leg not only become a bit weaker, but they can become very stiff over time. So if you can, try and stand up for sort of 10 minutes every hour, if you can, or more, ideally, just to release that tension. And we're going to do the other side now. This side hurts way more for some reason. And if you can't quite make that 90-degree angle, you can just bring your leg forward. There's no need to overstretch here. This is all about just finding a comfortable position for yourself. It's good, and you can again draw those toes towards the floor. It's lovely. And if you need to, we don't particularly need to use this today, but if you can get your hands on a little foam yoga block, that can be really useful if you're doing any stretching positions where maybe you have to reach down and you can't reach all the way down. For example, if you were doing a standing stretch, reaching all the way to the floor, and you couldn't reach all the way, you could place your hands on a block just to still get that nice stretch but not overexert yourself. Lovely. And what we can do now is we can bring both our knees together, and we can just do a nice little motion from side to side. Now this is going to be harder for me to explain, but all I'm doing is I am lifting my feet off the floor about this much. I am gripping my knees together, and I'm almost doing a twisting motion. So this is providing a little bit of core strength, but it's also unlocking the base of your spine, your hips and your waist. Just providing a very gentle twist. And if you want a gentler version of this, we can come back to sitting, and we can simply just twist from the spine outwards. So we can go little twist like this, and back, little twist like this, and back. Good. That's lovely. We're not doing anything strenuous today. Nothing strenuous. Perfect. Lovely. And we can shake it up. We can shake it up. Okay. Lovely. Now, as it is the summertime, I don't know if you've been doing any summer DIY or if it's just me, but as they make quite a nice sound, I thought I would fill you in on my latest DIY project. So as you can see, my very very neat tin of Ronseal does what it says on the tin. Does it even say that anymore? Oh, it does. It does exactly what it says on the tin. So this is some wood filler, and I think it makes a nice sound. And what I have been doing with this is I've been filling my windowsills. And I think I've been talking about this to people for at least a couple of weeks now. It's an ongoing project. I have very, 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 very old windowsills. And I do not want to pay lots of money. So I thought I would do it myself. And I like a challenge. So I had very, very deep holes in this windowsill, and I have sanded it all off. I have filled them 3 times and sanded in between each time, and I think I'm finally at the stage where I need to prime them. So I'm going to be priming and undercoating them with this water-based formulation, and then I will be painting them a nice white. It's very exciting. Well, I mean for me, I mean for you, it's probably quite sad, okay. Right. With your arms to the side, that's very dramatic, wasn't it? With your arms to the side, we're going to do some nice circles, okay? Nice circles, we like this. This is going to really feel in your shoulders. So we're going to do circles forward, and we can make the circles even bigger if you want to. And we can go backwards as well. We can make them small. Whatever you want. And you'll really feel this in your shoulders. Really, really, really. Feeling it yet? Just a little bit. And once it starts to sort of hurt, it's fine. We can stop because we don't need to get hot and bothered. We don't need to. Lovely. And the final bit that we can do is we can focus on a nice deep breathing. And one of my favourite breathing techniques actually is just the 4-4-4. Oh, I call it the 4-4-4. So I breathe in for 4, I hold for 4, and I breathe out for 4. I mean, technically I could breathe in again and we can make it a nice little box. But you know, whatever you prefer. I just quite like breathing in, holding, and breathing out. So should we do that together? Okay, so we're going to breathe in for 4. Hold. And breathe out. And as you're breathing out, really feel just everything releasing and relaxing. Any tension you're holding anywhere in your body. Again, remember that when you're hot and bothered, it's much more common to feel sort of a racing of the heartbeat, the breathing. It can even come out in mannerisms. You might feel a bit skittish. And it's really important just to draw everything down. So let's breathe in again for 4. Hold. And breathe out. Lovely. I'm really focusing on this moment and everything that's around you and what you're really grateful for. Recently, someone told me about saying 2 good and 2 bad things in the day, which I really like. So I think we can do that together now. So let's get the bad out of the way, shall we? For me, the bad was I was feeling a little bit anxious today, potentially brought on by all my recent headaches, feeling a bit rubbish with my shoulders and neck, not feeling 100%. So yeah, I think we'll count that as 1. And secondly, maybe I secretly wanted to be outside a lot more today and not on my laptop. And the 2 good things are being here with you right now, number 1. And number 2, I've got some very beautiful flowers behind me that I really love, and they are all starting to come out, and they're very pretty, so I like them. So that's made me smile today. So what about you? Okay, go. Two bad. Think of 2 bad things. Doesn't have to be deep. Just 2 things that come to mind. And another one. Okay. And 2 good things. That's lovely. And perfect. Those are 2 very good things. It's always important, I think, even if you do have a couple or more bad things happen, it's always important to try and not let those things cloud your day. And even when you're feeling a bit hot and flustered and bothered, if we can bring ourselves back to the centre, and hopefully we can just focus on the good things and the nice things that we have, and hopefully that brings a nice smile to your face, because it's a very lovely smile. Show it to me again. Oh, can't look at you for too long because it's a good one. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel a little bit more relaxed, hopefully a little calmer, maybe a little cooler, and hopefully you're able to rest and relax and press the reset button on your day if you're feeling a bit hot and bothered. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please stay healthy and well and happy, and know that I'm always here if you ever want to join me again. I hope you have a lovely rest. I'm gonna just do a little hop, skip and a jump off here, and I will see you very soon.